Most of the suffering we endure today hasn't actually happened yet, and the Stoics knew exactly how to stop this cycle. We often live our lives as if we are writing a tragedy that has not yet been performed. We pace our rooms, rehearse difficult conversations, and mentally construct scenarios of failure or loss, all while the sun is shining and the floor beneath our feet is solid. We are, in effect, borrowing trouble from a future that may never arrive. Seneca, in his 13th letter to Lucilius, offered a piercing observation that cuts through this mental fog. He wrote that we are often more afraid than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you pause to consider your current state, you will often find that the crisis you fear is not currently happening. The threat exists only in the architecture of your mind, a structure you have built out of anxiety and anticipation. This is what the Stoics called the burden of prolepsis, or unnecessary anticipation. It is a form of mental taxation where you pay the price of a catastrophe before it has even knocked at your door. Consider the difference between constructive preparation and destructive rumination. If you are a builder, you plan for the structure of a house to ensure it stands against the storm. That is a rational use of the future. But if you spend your nights trembling at the thought of a storm that is not currently blowing, you are not building anything. You are simply exhausting your spirit. You are depleting the very energy you will need if the storm truly arrives. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that the past is a memory and the future is a mystery, leaving only the present moment as the theater of our actions. When you allow your mind to wander into the future to hunt for potential suffering, you are abandoning your post. You are leaving the present moment unguarded. The Stoic practice is to reclaim that territory. It is not about ignoring reality. It is about refusing to live in a phantom reality. When you feel that familiar tightening in your chest, that swell of what if, stop. Ask yourself, is this danger present right now? Is it happening in this room, in this breath, in this second? Almost always, the answer is no. Once you have identified that the threat is merely a projection, consciously bring your attention back to the task directly in front of you. Whether it is washing a dish, writing a sentence, or walking down a path, anchor your senses in the tactile world. The goal is ataraxia, a mind untroubled by things outside your control. By refusing to borrow trouble from tomorrow, you preserve your capacity to act with wisdom today. You stop being a victim of your own imagination and become a guardian of your own peace. This is the essence of building a resilient character. You do not need to solve the problems of next month today. You only need to meet this moment with clarity. Practice this today. When the mind starts to drift toward future worries, gently pull it back to the present task. You will find that the weight you carry becomes significantly lighter. Thank you for joining me for this moment of reflection. Ataraxia Daily brings you one Stoic lesson every single day to help you build a calmer, more resilient mind. If this practice served you, please subscribe to the channel, and I invite you to in practice. This asks for something simple but demanding. When you feel anxiety rising, pause and ask yourself if the threat exists in this current moment or only in your mind. Then consciously bring your attention back to the task directly in front of you. That is how this idea stops being a thought about how to stop suffering in advance and becomes a standard for the next ordinary decision you make today. Come back tomorrow for another lesson.